Okay, here we are, everyone. Week 7 of class. We just have 2 weeks left. Pretty light week we have this week. Before we dive in, be looking for your week 6 grades by Friday. My goal is to get them done. Those film reviews take a little bit of time to get done. So be looking for those by Friday. Please let me know if you have any questions about any of your grades thus far. And let's jump into week 7. So we're talking about art in the church. So this is when that Francis Schaeffer text comes into play. So you don't have to read the entire book, just the second essay, which if you have the version I have, it's the second essay. It might be the first in your version. But it's the essay, Some Reflections on Art. So you don't need to read the other essay, which I can't remember its title at this moment. Just this essay, Some Reflections on Art. And this is what our capstone project is based on. So, good idea to read, get your reading done, and then, go over the prompt and start working on your capstone project this week. So all you have due this week is a discussion board. There's no quiz this week. You don't have any other written assignments due because I really want you to be working on your capstone project. So my goal is to kind of give you 2 weeks to get that capstone project done. So let's talk about the discussion board really quickly, and then we'll talk a little more about the capstone project. So since we're talking about art in the church this week, your discussion board is titled Culture Making and Christianity. So I want you to view 2 film clips about the artist Makoto Fujimura's exhibitions, and you can look at those by these 2 links. If you click here, it will take you to his website where the Golden Sea little video is here on the homepage as well. So go ahead and browse through his website. You can go on his bio and read about him. He's a really interesting guy. His writings, take a look, his works. If you want to kind of look through his work, he's a contemporary Christian artist, but he is a non-representational artist. His work is very abstract. It's very beautiful and very deep and thought-provoking. Most students tend to really like it. Every once in a while I get students who just aren't into it, and that's just fine. That's okay. But I want you to really explore his website, make sure you watch those film clips, and then answer these questions. So make sure you do your Francis Schaeffer reading as well, because we're kind of going to be using that in this discussion board. So, number 1, consider the quote, "As a Christian, we know why a work of art has value." Why? First, because a work of art is a work of creativity. And creativity has value because God is the creator. And so that's straight out of Francis Schaeffer. So how could we apply this quote to the work of Makoto Fujimura? Number 2, does an artist like Fujimura change your perspective on quote-unquote Christian art? Why or why not? So maybe did you have an idea of what, certain subject matters perhaps that had to be presented for it to be considered Christian art? Maybe you have kind of a very strict set of rules in your head of what this looks like, and maybe he, opens your mind up a little bit, or maybe he doesn't, and you already had this idea that it can be abstract as well. So number 3, what is the job of a Christian artist? So this is where Schaeffer is going to come into play here, and then reading some of Fujimura's writings on his website might help you with this idea. And so really think about this. What is their job? And is it different than a secular artist, perhaps? And do they have any certain responsibilities? So this is kind of an interesting, thought-provoking discussion board, and I encourage you to interact with your peers and, find out if they like Fujimura's art, for example, why or why not. Again, 2 to 4 sentences in length for each of these. Make sure that you answer if someone asks you a question. Make sure you're engaging with peers for full credit, and that is that. So then I've also included this little blurb to begin working on your capstone project. So if you go to the week 8 learning activities, which let's just jump over there really quickly so you can see what it all looks like. So just FYI, next week you'll have your capstone project due. You'll have a final reflection, which is a reflection on the course, and then you have a final review quiz due. So light week this week, but really take advantage of that. Don't think it's kind of a week off. It's a week to help you not be overwhelmed in week 8. So if you go ahead and download this PDF, it looks like this. And I'll go over this in more detail in next week's overview video, but I just wanted to make sure that you saw this here. So you're going to be reading the essay, Some Perspectives on Art. This is a 10 to 12 page paper, which means 10 to 12 pages of text. You're going to be using images in here as well. You're going to be doing case studies. And if you want to know what case studies are, let's see, where is that? I thought I included a link for you on the idea of a case study. There it is. What is a case study? If you click on this, it will actually take you to the Wikipedia page, which, you know, while I don't let you use it for research, it's a good jumping off point. So if you want to read this, if you're not sure what this idea of a case study is, just, you know, it'll introduce you to the concept. And I've given you some good sources, of course, for artwork that you're going to be using. You're going to be basically going through Schaeffer's perspectives. He has 11 perspectives in this essay, and you're going to pick 3 of them to write about and do case study on, and give an example of a work of art that represents the ideas in that case study. So make sure that you read through this prompt thoroughly, especially this week, and let me know if you have any questions of what I'm going to be expecting. And that way, I would read through this before you read Schaeffer. That way, you know what to be looking for as you read as well. Do keep in mind that next week your work is due not on Sunday, but on Friday. So next week, end of week 8, the course officially ends Sunday night at midnight, and then Monday at 4 p.m. is when I have to submit final grades. So that would give me less than 24 hours to grade your capstone projects were I to let you submit them on Sunday. That is why they are due Friday night at midnight. So just remember that, keep that in mind, be prepared. And that's again why I try to, you know, really get you diving into this in week 7, so that you're not overwhelmed by the time you get into week 8. So that's all we've got going on this week. You just have that discussion board due. Make sure you read Francis Schaeffer. Make sure that you ask me any questions you might have on this paper. Be looking for your grades from the week 6 work by Friday, and have a great week, everyone.